Welcome to DeFi Crypto Today. Our topic today is Orca Finance, or also known as AVAI or AVAI Finance on the Avalanche network. This is a project I just discovered. We're going to try to test it today, and it looks very much like My Finance but for Avalanche. So you can deposit some tokens and borrow stable coins from that, and as you can see below here, you get zero interest loans, which is quite nice. You also have a governance token called the Orca, which you can deposit and earn some yield, and you can also stake their AVAI stablecoin, okay, which is worth $1 here. And you can also deposit that and earn more yield if you want to. Now they've got all kinds of stuff as well. It seems that they're helping the environment and so on. I haven't read the whole documentation. We're just going to show you how you can borrow on this one. So the idea, as I said, is very similar to what's happening on My Finance that we saw before. For those that did not see My Finance, the link is below. Okay, so it works with our time to be your own bank strategies. Okay, so for those that don't remember, we have an asset that we like and we don't want to sell, and we want to deposit it, earn some income, and then we get a wrap token out of that, and we take that wrap token, deposit it somewhere like here, and borrow stable coins against that. And then with those stable coins, we can exchange them for something else and buy ourselves any other tokens we want, or even cash out of the crypto world and get ourselves some fiat money like US dollars, euros, or British pounds, or whatever. All right. So that's what we're going to try to demonstrate today. We'll see if it works. And let's try to get some AVAI. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add, they have this feature here, I'm going to add the AVAI token to my Metamask so that we can see if it's added to our wallet at some point. So they have a ton of stuff you can do here. So the very first thing we need to do is go to the vault. Okay, now to save time, because I didn't want to make a 2-hour-long video, I already created the vault. Okay, now you have several vaults you can create. If we look at this, okay, these are all the vaults that are available. Now you have base assets. Basically, these assets do not earn interest by themselves. Okay, so you deposit that, you're not earning interest. You can deposit AVAX, you can deposit wrapped Ethereum or wrapped Bitcoin. Okay, these would not earn interest, but you can borrow on this one up to 66%, this one up to 80%, and this one up to 83%. Okay, now you also have these interest-bearing assets. Now I keep talking about these, okay? The most famous example we've talked about is the wrap memo. Okay, that's a yield-bearing asset or an interest-bearing asset. Okay, it earns a super huge APY. Okay, and typically in many of our videos, what we've done is we deposit it on Abracadabra and we borrow against it. Okay, so we're doing something very similar here. We could do this with these tokens. Recently I made a video, the time to be your own bank video number 5. We talked about XJO, which we deposited on Abracadabra to borrow some MIMS, right? Well, we could do the same here and borrow up to 50% of the value here. Now the advantage here is that it's a 0% interest loan. So there is no interest to pay on that loan. There is a small fee when you pay back the loan only, and it's 0.75% only. But other than that, you don't have to pay interest. So you could leave the loan there for years and years and years and years if you wanted to, and not have to pay interest. If you decide to close your position, you only have to pay 0.75% loan fee. That's it. Okay. So in our case, we have several choices. We have what they call the Yak Benqi AVAX token. So basically, we would deposit. We would use AVAX, and it's deposited on Benqi and optimized on Yield-Yak. So it sounds complicated, but it's not that hard. I'll show you what I've done. To save time, I already deposited my AVAX on Yield-Yak. Okay, and I'll show you what I've done in a moment. You could do the same with AVAX, but on the AVAI protocol, using again Yield-Yak, but I did not do that simply because the APY was a tiny bit lower. So I said, well, I might as well maximize my APY. So I'm using the Benqi protocol on Yield-Yak instead. You also have the Benqi for Link token. You have AVAI for wrapped Bitcoin and wrapped Ethereum. Okay, all on Yield-Yak. And this one, well, you don't need to. You take your XJO that we've done before on Time to Be Your Own Bank Part 5. We created XJO on Trader Joe, and this time we can deposit it on Yield-Yak. And after it's done that, we get ourselves a receipt, which we can deposit here. Okay, so these are all the tokens that are available. All right, so let's go for this one. I'll show you what I've done first on Yield-Yak. So this is a Yield-Yak. If you've never been here, it optimizes deposits on other protocols. And in this case here, for these farms, what they've done is that we selected Benqi. We can select several protocols. So we have AVAI here, Abracadabra, and so on. You can check those out later if you want. Okay. And what it does is that it optimizes the yield. So we can get up to 23% APY on AVAX on this one. Okay. Now they have several other tokens that are available on AVAX, but for those that are usable on Orca, this is the one that gives the best yield. So that's where I'm putting my deposit. Okay, so what I've done is I deposited 2 AVAX tokens. If we look here, it says 2 AVAX tokens, and they're worth right now $244. All right, and I should be earning 23% APY. All right. Now, what happens here, if you look at my account, you click on this, and I could deposit more, I could withdraw here, and there are some details here. If you click on Learn More, it brings you to a page, not this one, that explains what Yield-Yak is doing behind the scenes. Okay, so essentially they're going on Benqi, they're depositing the tokens, they're borrowing against them, and they're performing basically what I'm talking about in my free book. The link is in the description. You deposit an asset, you borrow against it, you buy more of that asset, and you redeposit it. Okay, and they loop that a few times. Okay, to maximize your yield. Okay, and that's what they're doing. All right, but they do it all automatically. All I have to do is make a deposit. I don't have to do the borrowing myself. The program does it for you. Okay, Yield-Yak does all that under the hood. You don't even know it's happening, and it's all done for you. Okay, and I mean, you could do the same on Benqi. This is Benqi. So you could deposit your AVAX here, get 13.53%. You borrow against it. You have to deduct some interest. You redeposit, and so on and so on and so on. It's complicated. It takes time. You pay gas, okay, and it's manual labor. Nobody wants to do that. All right. So Yield-Yak optimizes all that and automates everything. Easy peasy. All right. Now, the thing is, I want to see the token that is created when I do this, because that token I'm going to use on Orca and deposit it, right? So to get to that token contract address, you click on this link here. It says View on Explorer. And we end up here, okay? Now, actually the first page is this one. You end up on this page, and then here it says token tracker. So you click on this, and this contract address here is the token contract address for the Yield-Yak Benqi AVAX token. It's listed right here, right? So we have a little button that says copy. So we copy. We go into Metamask. Go in the assets, and we go all the way down, and you do import token, and you paste it here. Now mine, I already did it, okay, so I'm not going to do it again. But what it looks like after it's done is, if we go all the way to the bottom, it calls it YRT. Okay, that's probably a default acronym, okay, from Yield-Yak, okay, and they probably use the same acronym on several of those tokens that they create, okay. But it doesn't matter. What's important is that we see the value here, 1.917. Okay, that's the number of tokens that were created from my 2 AVAX tokens that I deposited on Yield-Yak, okay. Now remember this number. Now let's go back to Orca, all right, and if we go back to our vaults, I already created the vault here. Now if we manage the vault, I did not make the deposit yet, so we're going to perform that right now. Aha, we see the same value that we saw in Metamask over here. See, go back to the bottom. See, 1.917, 1.1973, same value, okay? And it's the Yak Benqi AVAX token. Perfect. It's the exact same one. So what we're going to do, we're going to deposit that. So hit max, and then next, and we have to approve that we're depositing this. And MetaMask is going to appear. Confirm. All right, let's see how long it takes to do this. All right, still approval is still pending. Okay, now it's approved. So we submit. So this should deposit the token. I'm hoping. Confirm. All right, the deposit is, well, it should be done by now. Okay, so it should be gone from my wallet, and it should be deposited. So my collateral appears right here. I did not borrow anything yet. So let's borrow. So let's go to the loan section. All right, it tells us that there's a closing fee when using this bank of 0.73%, 73, right? Hard for me to tell right now, but anyway, so there's a closing fee. It should be 0.75. What is that? Yeah, 0.75. All right, so I can borrow what's available here, 123 AVAI tokens. I'm not going to borrow the maximum just in case the price of my AVAX drops, okay? So I don't want to get liquidated. So what we're going to do, we're going to borrow about half. Okay, so I could borrow up to 123 tokens. So I'm going to borrow only about, let's say, 60. Okay. So this way I have a very wide safety margin. Okay, you should always consider that. Okay, what if the price of AVAX tanks tomorrow, or usually the way things happen with me is that I go to bed, the next morning I wake up, oh, it tanked while I was sleeping. So, so be prudent when you borrow, okay? Always consider the risk before you perform the operation, okay? Very important. So let's try with 50%, okay? And submit. Confirm. Confirm again. I don't know. Okay, so it's performed. Okay, so it says available to borrow. I still have 63.42 AVAI available if I wanted to borrow more. All right, so my debt right now is 60. My current loan to value ratio is 24.31%. Okay, so it should be very safe. It should be very safe, and that's why I think it's green right now. Yeah. So that should work. So in terms of liquidation price, right now it says the current price of AVAX is $128.75. And it would have to drop at $62.59 before I get liquidated. So as you can see, it would have to be a huge price drop, very big price drop. It would have to be a 50% price drop. It's not impossible, but it's unlikely that it's going to drop like that overnight. It's possible, but unlikely. So I feel pretty confident that my position is safe. Okay, I can probably leave this this loan position open, okay, for months and months and months, maybe years even, unless something really bad happens to Avalanche and the AVAX token tanks. But you know, at the moment, it looks unlikely. All right. Okay, so now I should have 60 AVAI tokens in my wallet. So let's double check that in the assets. And I do have 60 AVAI tokens. Now notice that my YRT token, which is my Yak Benqi AVAX token, it's gone. Okay, why? Because it's deposited here as collateral. Okay. Now in exchange, I got myself 60 AVAI tokens. Now what can we do with these AVAI tokens, you say? Right. Okay, I could deposit them on Orca, okay, and earn some yield. If we look at the farming, I believe it's in the farming. So you see, you've got like some pretty good APRs here if you want to go in the AVAI Orca pair, for instance. Okay, but you know, maybe there could be some impermanent loss. It depends how good the Orca token behaves. Okay, if it tanks, you're probably gonna have some impermanent loss. Okay, yeah. So let's see. This one is I could use my AVAI here. I could use my AVAI here, and there's some partner farms as well from other protocols that are down here. Okay, I could use this one, for instance, and then I would have to hit the farm, this farm, and see where it goes. Okay, we're not going to do that now. So let's see what we're going to do with our AVAI token. Unfortunately, I checked on Trader Joe, and the AVAI token is not listed. So we have a stable coin that we cannot exchange on Trader Joe. So where else can we exchange it? Well, conveniently, they have an exchange mechanism right on Orca, where you could convert back and forth between USDC and AVAI. So if I had some USDC, I could mint some AVAI out of that. But now we want to do the opposite. So we want to redeem the 60 AVAI and get ourselves some USDC instead. Because the USDC is very easy to swap for anything else. Okay? So let's give you an example. So let's do that. So right now our 60 AVAI are going to give us 59.53 USDC. They probably charge us a little bit of a fee right here, 0.75%. and that's fine. That's fine. They need to make money because they're giving us a free loan, right? So they're going to charge fees on the swapping here, and also when we repay the loan. So let's hit exchange and see what happens. And we're waiting for Metamask. Confirm. Okay. Hopefully the swapping is going to work. Okay, so we're redeeming. It's pending right now. Okay, it's done already. Perfect. So right now we should have some USDC. USDT. Okay, so yeah, we have our USDC. So it did work. And if we check, we have 0 AVAI left. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to do. All right. So now a lot of people ask me, well, what are you going to do with that money? Okay, fine. I'm going to show you. We're going to go on Trader Joe and we're going to swap the, okay, it's not refresh. Let's refresh Trader Joe because it doesn't see my USDC. All right. So Trader Joe, wake up. I found my USDC right here. So we got USDC, and let's say we max it, and let's say I'm gonna buy myself some time token. So this is the Wonderland time token. I got myself a little bit of time, and I can deposit it on Wonderland. I mean, stake it on Wonderland and earn 80,000% APY right now. So we can do that right now. Let's see that. Confirm the swap. There we go. All right, so it's transactions pending. Anyway, well, while we're waiting for this, so you see what happened? We started with the AVAX token, which by itself does not earn any interest whatsoever. We deposited it on Yield-Yak, and it's earning 23%. And while it's doing that, we went to Orca here and we deposited the Yield-Yak Benqi AVAX token that got created there, and we borrowed 60 AVAI tokens, which we exchanged for USDC, and now we bought time tokens with it. And I'm not going to do it in this video, but I'm going to take this and deposit it on Wonderland. I can show you Wonderland if you don't know where it is. Enter app. And I'm going to stake it. Well, I might as well do it since we're here. So we see my time is here. So we're going to stake it. Confirm. It's going to be deposited and added to my memos, and I'm going to earn 81,000% on it. So that's why we're doing all this. We start with an asset that we like. We want to keep the AVAX token. Why we want to keep it? Because we believe that the future of the Avalanche network is going to be fantastic. And because of that, we think that the value of our AVAX token is going to go through the roof. So we don't want to sell it. We think it's a very valuable asset for the long term. Now, on top of that, we are earning 23% APY on Yield-Yak from that. And we decided, okay, we're going to take some of the value that's in there, that's locked in there, and deposit it here on Wonderland to earn even more yield. Okay? And if I wanted to be really degen, I could take my memos here, go on Abracadabra, and borrow against them. I'm not going to do it now because there are no MIM tokens available. But I could do that in theory. Okay? And then from the MIM tokens, I would borrow there. I could reinvest that somewhere else or back here if I wanted to, and so on. So you can see how you can chain this, okay? And if you're very prudent and you don't maximize your loan, okay? Like what did I do, okay? If we go back here, my loan to value ratio is very low, okay? It's very low. I'm nowhere near the maximum. Maximum is 50%. I'm at less than half of that. So it's pretty sure that I'm not going to get liquidated overnight unless there's a major catastrophe. So I can sleep at night with this. Okay. All right. So this is part of what you can do with the time to be your own bank videos. Okay. And also I made a video called time to make your money work for you. So you see how you can make your money work for you. It's working double time right now. Okay, it's earning interest at the same asset you had originally is now earning yield at 2 places. So you really make that poor little token work double time. Okay, hopefully you find this interesting. If you like this kind of stuff, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell. Download the free book. It explains the strategy. It's very, very, very similar to this. Okay. So you put your name, your email address, and then you submit, and you get a big fat button that says download the free book. If you don't want it for free, you can go to Amazon, pay $5.99 to Jeff Bezos, and Jeff will send me a whole $1. See you later.